Okay, I'm trying one more time. Um, this is actually like part three of the stream because it's died twice now. Um, and I think I know why. One, because I had like hella storage issues because I had recorded videos from previous streams and I am not muted this time. And then second, I installed a VPN for school and I think that that's been messing with my computer. So I uninstalled it. I got rid of it. And so far I feel like my stream is doing a lot better than it was. So now I have to like say everything all over again. Well, I don't necessarily have to, but I want to. I want to catch you guys up. Also check in how you guys are doing. And mostly I'm just hoping that this stream lives and that it doesn't die. And then I just realized that I have food coming on the way, so y'all are gonna see me eat like kind of a late lunch, kind of a before dinner, kind of, you know, somewhere in between there. So yeah. Oh, I am just hoping that this one lives. I think it will. This one looks promising. It really does. Okay, so going into what I'm going to be working on today, and then, you know, write in the chat or in the comment or whatever it is that you guys can like interact with and let me know what you guys are working on today. My priority for this week is to write a rough draft for an abstract, which I was working on last Friday, and I'm gonna be real with y'all, I haven't worked on it since Friday. But that's okay. Life happens, you know. What's it called? Actually, last Friday, I ended the stream because I had a bit of an emergency. And just a small update, everything's fine, we're fine. A family member had like a problem and then they needed my help. So I helped them and then everything was settled and we're good again. So no more emergency. But yeah, so abstract for this week. That's what I'm gonna work on primarily for today. Other than that, I need to create in Notion. I'm losing my train of thought here. Basically, I have PowerPoints for my brain and behavior class and for my stats class, and then I need to transfer that information into Notion because then during lecture, I already have it all written out, and then I can just type in my notes, you know, like according to whatever the professor says, whatever he emphasizes, any extra information he gives on that particular slide. I just write down my notes as I'm going through lecture, and I just like to have those prepped before lecture. What's it called? And then actually end up using those for my active recall questions later. So it works out. What's it called? And honestly, like the active recall questions are working because my score on the last exam was 35 out of 40. He curved the exam, so that actually went up to 39 out of 40. Woo. If I had a fireworks, I would like right here, but I don't. I don't know how to do that yet. So yeah, active recall questions work. I'm going to keep doing that for the rest of the quarter because I really want to get an A in this class, and all of my classes actually. But yeah, so I'm going to work on my abstract. I want to get a rough draft in so that I can get some feedback on it from my faculty mentor for my research project and also from an honors faculty member, because like I'm in the honors program, but I feel like I'm not really taking advantage of the resources that they give me because I don't really reach out to them. Like I haven't had a need to reach out to them yet. If anything, like I want to talk more to my classmates and like see what they're working on or how they're doing things rather than talk to the faculty mentors. Because yeah, I don't know, it's easier to talk to my classmates than it is to the professor, at least for that class. Usually it's the complete opposite. It's usually easier for me to talk to the professor than it is to talk to my classmates because low-key I'm kind of shy. Although maybe it doesn't seem that way, but I am. And I might have a small degree of social anxiety, but I'm really good at covering it up. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. But yeah. My hopes for today is that I don't get a caffeine headache because I haven't had coffee today. I decided to switch it up and have a matcha latte. But the last time that I didn't drink coffee, I ended up with a caffeine headache, and like it wouldn't go away. I had to take 2 Tylenols, and it still didn't go away. It finally went away because I drank coffee. So I'm hoping that this is a good substitute, so that I can not drink coffee every day. But yeah, last time I had talked about how I make my matcha lattes, because I've only been talking for like 5 minutes, and I think people might find it interesting to hear more about what I have to say, other than just me studying and y'all just watching me study and then me commenting on whatever I'm studying on. I will get to my abstract eventually. But yeah, so oh my god, the stream is actually staying alive. It made it past 2 minutes. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Okay, so my matcha latte. I actually started matcha lattes because I went to Winco. It's like a grocery store, and they sold matcha things there, and I was like, oh, interesting. I mean, the bag is like this tiny, and it costs $9, which is kind of a lot for something that tiny. But like if you don't know from matcha, you actually don't need all that much. Like you need like maybe this much of matcha in a cup to create a matcha drink. Just depends on how strong you like it. But yeah, you usually don't need more than a 1/4 teaspoon, which is very little. And so yeah, you just put it in your cup, and then have some some warm water, a small amount of warm water, just to like make it into like a liquid mixture. And then what's it called? After that, I just added some almond milk. I warmed up some almond milk, and then I put it in here, and then I have my matcha latte. We'll see how this goes. Anyway, I had so much more enthusiasm like the first time around. I'm hoping that my stream survives. It's always sad when it doesn't, but it feels promising since I got rid of the VPN and I increased the storage to my computer. Alright, so without further ado, I wish you all luck on your studies, and let's get to it. I like had to restart my computer so many times as well. It was wild. Because then at the same time, I thought like Streamlabs was having like an issue, and I'm like, you're messing with my stream, man. Okay. Alrighty. So the abstract. I need to use. But yeah, I will have food coming soon, and I'm so sorry if y'all haven't eaten. I might make you hungrier. Okay. How's it doing? No! Skip frames. Okay, it's only 25%. Like before it was showing me 99, 100% skip frames, and I was just like, what the fuck? La 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 la. Might be because I'm opening other docs. Hopefully it's not too bad. This one. But yeah, I shouldn't have issues this time. I really, really shouldn't. I got rid of the bad stuff. Yep, we were right here. Okay. I need a sneeze. Right. Okay. And then here, motivation, create the hook. And I had written this sentence: people who do not experience microaggressions in their day-to-day cannot fathom the psychological impacts these tiny wounds inflict on others who experience them several times a day. Okay. Motivation. What else can I say? between negative effects, mental well-being, and microaggressions. There is little known about the impact microaggressions on cognitive abilities. Because that was kind of the premise of this. Can you figure out how to... The research shows a correlation between too bad, not too bad. Oh no. I'm scared. I've managed to stay alive, but I'm scared. Right. Examining experiences, mental health, and cognitive outcomes. What can we write? Motivation. Okay. I need to get like within myself to find the motivation. Okay. I need to think about why I care about this topic. I mean, like, I care a lot about this topic, but I need to, like, analyze why I care about this topic. Like, why? Pourquoi? Okay. Microaggressions, women, but we're not focusing on women anymore. We're focusing on adults. Men and women. All genders. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention, you can also add sweetener to your matcha latte, but personally, I don't know, like, I'm not that big on sweeteners, so I just take it like that. Almond milk, matcha latte, hot water, that's it. Okay. Microaggressions. So far what we know, microaggressions can be racial, can be gender, can be sexuality based, can be disability based, can be just based on a lot of how do I call that? It's for like minorities, but also for just minority groups in general. What is it? I think it's written here. I think I wrote it. I don't know, but I wrote it somewhere. Marginalized groups. Let me write that down. Marginalized groups. Also, I think my food is here. Yeah, it is. Okay. Give me 1 second, I will be back. have my food. It's from Oh No Hawaiian Barbecue. It's my first time eating their food. I'm so sorry, but I should eat. I'm gonna get so messy. Oh my god. Yes, I have a roll of paper towels. It's left over from a road trip I went on. And like, yeah, okay. I still haven't finished them. It's been like months. So that's interesting. I thought it came with shrimp. So I guess we're having a mukbang now. Do I like the salad? It's actually good. Okay. Am I gonna eat more of it though? Probably not. Okay, I've tested this before. Y'all can't hear me chew, so it's okay. It comes in a bed of cabbage. Alright. Ooh. I think I learned something. Okay. Microaggressions. Adults. Microaggressions, adults. Microaggressions and day-to-day activity. Microaggressions at work. Comments at work. Comments on the subway. Comments on the bus. Comments walking around the mall. Changes in the way that you're treated. The services that you receive. Microaggressions. Adults. Why is it important? Like, why do we even care? Why should we care? Sorry, I'm trying to brainstorm here. I think this is a good sentence as a hook. People who do not experience microaggressions in their day-to-day could not fathom the psychological impacts these tiny wounds inflict on others who experience them several times a day. Or multiple times a day. What else can I say? The psychological impairment is evident from previous studies, but the cognitive, what was the word that they used? But how microaggressions impact cognitive functioning has yet to be addressed, has yet to be studied in the Latinx population. So, like, I don't know if I'd equate microaggressions to bullying, because bullying is purposeful. Bullying is not purposeful, done on purpose. I think those are two different terms. Okay, this would be so much easier to eat with chopsticks. What the heck? Ah! Not me forgetting how to eat with a fork. I figured out when my stream was dying. It's been 30 minutes and it hasn't died yet. I deserve cookies. Not cookies. I deserve macarons. Macarons taste better. Actually, no, macarons are just good. What can I say? I could say I definitely need to take a cognition class for spring. I think the cognitive class would help me a lot more with this project. Let's see. Okay. Fundamentals of, cognitive processes. Topics in cognitive psychology. Which one should I take? So for spring, I'd have to take one of those two, or both. Cognitive processes or topics in cognitive neuroscience. I'm definitely going down like this neuroscience track. And then there's cognitive development. I wonder which one would be the appropriate class to take. That would help me have like the best understanding of cognitive abilities. Excuse me. There's a laboratory in cognitive psychology. Okay. I'm gonna make note of these because I have to take one of these during spring. I have to. 24, 26, or 163. I think cognitive development might be a good class. I think I'll ask Dr. Wu which class she thinks I should take. Oh crap. No! Topics in neuroscience. This is like the ugliest note I've ever written. Here. I like how my sticky note says, make it happen. Yeah, I gotta make this happen. Okay. Aside from that, I'm totally getting sidetracked here, but aside from brain and behavior, I wanted to take, I think, personality, or maybe intro to clinical psychology. Because after this quarter, I've already taken all of my basic psych. I don't know which classes to take. I think I'll take personality, cognitive processes, and maybe I don't know if I should say cognitive development or lifespan development. And then there's adolescence and emergent. I'm getting distracted. How's my stream doing? Doing good so far. Yes. Okay. So to answer this question, I have to think about it in terms of, okay, cognition. If microaggressions impair cognition or if it doesn't. So if it does, how does this study help us? Helps us identify I don't know. I think that's what I'm trying to find out. Like, how does it affect people if it does affect their cognitive function? How is their cognitive function impacted? No, not how. But yeah, it helps us discover what factors are impacting. Wait, no. Oh my god, my brain. Person with microaggressions. Cognitive function. Mental well-being. I have cookies. Why is this one a different color? What's in here? It's just fried fish. I'm kind of disappointed because I thought it came with shrimp, but it doesn't. So we're trying to find a correlation between microaggressions and cognitive functions. Is there a positive correlation or is there a negative correlation? Are they in any way affected by each other? So does cognitive function go down if the person experiences microaggressions? That's kind of causal, but we're not trying to find the cause. We're just trying to see if there's a relationship. If microaggressions increase the chance of cognitive function decreasing, not changing, or maybe increasing. What if microaggressions have a positive correlation to cognitive function? Like, we can't really identify if that effect is a positive effect or a negative effect. You just know that somehow cognitive function is impacted, or is impacted by microaggressions. but you never know if that's like a positive, like if it's a good change to cognition or if it's a negative change to cognition. I feel like that factor you can't really find, or if we can, like I'm not sure how to find it, because like obviously we're going to find a correlation. We just don't know. Okay. And then for mental well-being, you know what, we could probably find a correlation between mental well-being and cognitive function. I feel like your mental well-being, which is affected by microaggressions, affects your cognitive function. But I guess what I want to try to understand is cognitive function, cognitive effect, no, cognitive. I'm serious. It's like my brain can't work that fast. Someone else probably would have already made the connection. I can't make the connection. It's probably because I haven't had coffee. Oh my god. Okay, I get this. But then the aim of the study to evaluate. Okay, then we're adding in the ethnic racial. Okay. Okay, so we want to understand how they differ from the Black experience, maybe? Okay, so this is like the important one. That is the parameter of the study that I have to stick to, which is cognitive function. So, testing cognitive function due to microaggressions. My brain. And then mental well-being. I think one of the extraneous variables will probably be whether born here or born elsewhere. I think that's an extraneous factor that we need to make sure to address, because I feel I'm expecting very different results if the person is born here versus someone who's born elsewhere, and how they experience microaggressions. Okay, that's definitely an extraneous variable. Okay, so finding out the results, how does this help? What does it contribute? It would contribute information on whether or not let me write that down before I talk, and then I don't remember what I said. Contribute information whether cognitive abilities are impacted by my brain. Okay. Consequences on cognitive functioning. Okay, so that's something, because we need to be able to define what we mean by cognitive function. What are the cognitive factors that we're trying to address? That's why I wanted to take a cognitive class. Cognitive factors we are testing. So when academic achievement, this could be whether, I don't think it necessarily has to be their GPA, but it could be like their highest level of education, maybe. Academic achievement, what else would cognitive functioning, could it be, I want to say even maybe what their job title is? Like, are they in a managerial position, or are they, and what kind of position are they? Like, I don't even know what to call the other position. Are they calling me? I don't think they're calling me. Like, how, cognitive factors. Something material to result in environmental factors, social norms, access in community, influence on others, ability to change one environment. Maybe. Decision about the learner's task, materials, practice, feedback. Could be cognitive development. Oh, okay. Levels of cognitive functioning. No response, generalized response, localized response, confused, agitated, confused, inappropriate, confused, appropriate, automatic, appropriate, purposeful, appropriate, purposeful, inappropriate, required, purposeful, So we have social cognition, executive function, memory, attention, psychomotor. Could it be this? What is cognition and cognitive behavior? So for social cognition, responding to emotion-laden stimuli, we have emotion recognition, emotional bias, identifying emotions and facial expressions, information processing biases for positive, negative stimuli, executive function, high-level thinking and decision-making, mental flexibility, working memory, planning, responsive inhibition, and then memory, short-term and long-term storage of information, episodic memory. I'm wondering if these are what we would be testing for, because they're talking about cognitive functioning and well-being. Are these the factors? Let me message this to, what's her name? No, I'm scared. I don't want to message her. That's so scary. Oh my god. Okay. She's just like, you know, she's like, she's knowledgeable, she's experienced, she has wisdom, she has the brain cells. Oh, oh my god, it makes me nervous to try and message her. Oh my god. Oh, people are scary, okay? Yay, I'm glad my stream is working. It didn't die this time. That's good. Okay. I think in 10 minutes I might take like a 15-minute break to eat my food. Because I haven't eaten anything. Well, I mean I have, but no, I'll just keep eating. It's just I forget that the food is there. Because then my brain goes into like a zone. Do you guys want to see my writing? It's really bad. It's like messy as heck. And it's just because I'm writing fast though. And also because I've been typing the majority of the time. So I also have this weird habit of like writing stuff backwards. Like that word is supposed to be function, and like the T-I-O-N I wrote as T-I-N-O. Functional. Yeah, that happens a lot. It might be a thing, I don't know. That one has 4. This one has 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is 3. Attention. I feel like this is the stuff that we're going to be testing for in the lab. Like, could we do a portion that's just surveys and then a portion where, like, we actually have a group of people that we test for these cognitive functions? So we have motion recognition, emotional, bias, and then mental. And then I don't think we would need to come up with the test that tests these. I feel like these probably already exist. We're just kind of correlating the factors of the people in the participation groups. Excuse me. Being the people in the participation groups. Oh, I'm sorry, it's stolen. Being of Latinx. What's it called? Latinx population, and then adults from the age of 18 plus, basically. Majority of the participants will probably be like college student age. Oh my god, my writing is so bad. But like, I'm a very visual person, so this helps a lot. Oh crap. Sustained attention. I really like this table. And then choice reaction time. Okay, so I'm wondering if we're going to test against these factors for microaggressions. I think that's something that I should talk about with Isabella. Isa. It's so weird saying that. I've never called an Isabella Isa. It's cute, but I'm just not used to it. Okay, I think I have the motivation down. So I think the problem statement is, oh wait, I think I was supposed to make this. I forgot, but I think I was supposed to include this sentence into my abstract. Okay. I'll come back to that. So the problem statement is, what is the problem that we are trying to solve? So I kind of talk about it a little bit in the motivation, which is the psychological impairment of microaggressions is evident from previous studies, but how microaggressions impact cognitive function requires further study. I think that should be the problem statement. The motivation. Okay. People who do not experience microaggressions in their day-to-day cannot fathom the psychological impact these tiny wounds inflict on others who experience them several or multiple times a day. I think several times a day is fine. I am studying racial, gender, and income microaggressions. Am I studying income? Is cognition related to income? Maybe. I think I am studying gender and racial microaggressions, because I want to find out the cognitive effects So I'm changing my FAQ because now I have a better understanding of like what I want my paper to be about. I kind of wish I had water. It's like empty. Okay, I've been streaming for like an hour. I'm gonna take like a quick 10-15 minutes to eat the rest of my food because it is getting cold, and then I shall be back, okay? So we're gonna take a break. All right. Oh, okay. All right, let's get back into it. See, 4 or 5. I'll probably, I think I should be able to finish this within the next hour. I had like a bunch of problems before, but should be good for the next hour. Literally took like 4 more bites and I was full. So, I'm good to go. I think more than anything right now, I'm super dehydrated. Like my lips are super dry, and they're usually my marker that tells me, hey, you need to drink more water because your lips are looking kind of crusty. But yeah, okay. We're on the problem statement. All right. What is the problem that you are trying to solve? What question are you seeking to answer? Okay. That I kind of know. So, the psychological impairment of microaggressions is evident from previous studies, but how microaggressions impact cognitive functioning requires further study. If is not affected is affected, positive changes to positive or negative changes to cognitive functions. Okay. I think that's kind of the answer that we're aiming to find. The psychological impairment of microaggressions is evident from previous studies. So like there's an established understanding that microaggressions do affect mental well-being. The psychological impairment. And I'm calling it psychological impairment because microaggressions have been connected to increased depression, increased anxiety, increased lower self-esteem and lower happiness, life satisfaction, like all of that has already been found. But what hasn't been found, but how microaggressions impact cognitive functioning requires further study. If cognitive function is affected, what is the correlation to microaggressions, and do the findings correlate to positive or negative changes to cognitive function? Positive or negative changes? I think it might be increases or correlate to increases or decreases. No, increases in cognitive function or decreases. There's like a lot of grammar problems here. I'm gonna plug this into a Google Doc later and have Grammarly check it for me. Okay, that is our problem statement. That's the answer that we're aiming to find. Oh, and then I was editing that sentence. I am studying gender and racial microaggressions because I want to find out how what would I call that? Maybe negative experiences. So I am studying gender and racial microaggressions because I want to find out how Latinx cognitive function is affected by these negative experiences and what coping mechanisms are in place due to coping mechanisms, protective factors are in place due to their ethnic, racial identity. Yeah, I think this is a good sentence. Let's see. People who do not experience microaggressions in their day-to-day could not fathom the psychological impacts these tiny wounds inflict on others who experience them several times a day. I am studying gender and racial microaggressions because I want to find out how Latinx cognitive function is affected by these negative experiences and what coping mechanisms or protective factors are in place due to their ethnic racial identity. Due, from, are in place by their due to. No, I think due is fine. That can be changed later. The psychological impairment of microaggressions is evident from previous studies, but how microaggressions impact cognitive functioning requires further study. If cognitive function is affected, what is the correlation to microaggressions? And do the findings correlate to increases in cognitive function or decreases, or does it decrease cognitive function? If cognitive function is affected, what is the correlation to microaggressions? And do the findings correlate to increases in cognitive function, or does it decrease cognitive function? Or does it decrease? Increases? That can be edited later. That's a good question. That is a solid problem statement. That was really loud. You guys are hearing like all of the background noise right now. Sorry. Okay. That sounds like a good solid problem statement. Okay, I think we're good now. So I wrote next, I wrote two more. Again, this can be edited later. Is there a correlation between cognitive functioning and microaggressions on the basis of gender? Is there a correlation between cognitive function and microaggressions on the basis of being born in the United States versus having a different nationality? I think those are kind of the questions that I want to know about. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, that's like a giant problem statement, but it's good. Approach. What methodologies did you use to address the problem or question? Scientific methods, models, literature, research, surveys, creative tools. What was the extent of your project? How large was the study? What groups were involved? Did it take place over several years or seasons? And I'm on mute again. All right, 30 minutes to write the approach, anticipated results, and potential significance. Okay, so for the approach, I don't know what I should write. This one. Okay, they were using various scales. Approach. Honestly, don't know. supposed to work within the parameters that are already set for me. I need to do that. Okay. Okay, so I think this is actually things that they have so far. Self-efficacy, planning. I think this might be under executive function. Because, okay, so they already have like a bunch of surveys that they were gonna, did I ever mention this? For my research project, I'm actually kind of just picking up where they left off, which isn't very far actually. And then since they haven't really gotten that far into the research project that they had already started, they're basically morphing it and adapting it to what I want to research, which is pretty freaking cool. But they already have some scales, like we'll definitely be doing surveys, mostly surveys so far. Not sure how else they're testing cognition, because if I remember reading correctly, Dr. Wu herself, like her lab does tests with like eye tracking, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't know. How's it doing? Oh, wow. It's skipping a lot of frames. But it's okay so far. How long? That was 5 minutes ago. As long as the stream doesn't crash. Okay. Oh my god, I'm almost done, y'all. This is like a rough draft. uh, and okay, so like this entire time I've been battling like this really intense want to write the perfect abstract in one go, and like wanting to go back and fix it, and like go back and be like, okay, no, this could be worded better, or no, like maybe it's not this, maybe it's something else. And then I feel like that's how you end up feeling like, one, writer's block, two, overwhelmed because you're just like, I can't do this. And then like there's this internal feeling that you have where it's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like you want to like just like give up basically. I've been battling that this entire time. You probably didn't notice, and that's totally fine. But that, I mean, I wasn't doing anything different. I was just looking at the screen and writing. But yeah, like there were a couple times, several times, where I was just like, okay, let me go back and rewrite this, or let me go back and like change it to something else, like trying to write the perfect abstract. But the thing is, like, I don't know everything yet. Like that's the reason why I want feedback, especially from my faculty mentor, because they know more about this project than I do. This could be related. I mean, you could translate this to whether you're writing an English paper or whether you're writing some paper for like a history class or a social studies class or something. Like that's the point of a rough draft, and why it's nice to write a rough draft, because you write what you think you know, then you give it to someone who gives you feedback and tells you just like, oh, you should probably write this way instead. And like I've never been good with that. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get feedback. Oh my god. I am my own worst critic, I swear. I feel like that's everybody, but especially me right now. Oh my god. Okay. I'm like, I feel that if someone checks the motivation and the problem statement and the approach, then I'll be able to better write the anticipated results and potential significance. Okay, so I think this is a good rough draft. I need to finish the sentence for potential significance. Okay, let me go. It's definitely gonna, I feel like it's gonna be a quantitative and qualitative study. Do I want to make this a qualitative or a quantitative study? Can it be both? I think that's a question. Do I want this to be a quantitative study or a qualitative study? Can it be both? Okay, quantitative study would give us numbers based, like we would get quantity, we would get data from the surveys because people would be answering like numerical stuff. But I think it's actually more of a qualitative study, because qualitative studies have to do with, let me find my little cheat sheet. One of like my closest friends ever, I love him dearly, bought me something, and like this thing actually comes in handy, although I can't find it right now. What is this stuff? Oh, it's when I went on my road trip, Montana. Can't believe I haven't like thrown these away yet. Virginia City, Montana. I'm getting distracted again. I know I am. Montana, we didn't actually, oh my god. Okay, one day I really want to learn how to fish, which I know is very weird for a girl, but I want to so bad. Like, I found this guy on YouTube, and I'm getting so distracted, I'm so sorry. I found this guy on YouTube, and like, he did this 30-minute documentary on why koi fish are so expensive, or why they can be, because I think a koi fish sold recently for about like $1.4 million. One fish, 1.4 million. But like, he's fishing. I want to capture a fish and look at it. I'm scared of fish, so I think I'm trying to get over my fear. So distracted. Oh, it was a bison. Okay. See, like, I'm gonna be like this woman one day with a big old smile on my face because I caught a fish. I'm crazy, I know. Or maybe not so crazy. No, this is not what I'm looking for. Is it in here? No, but this is the syllabus. My favorite thing about my classes is always the syllabus. It's not in here. Where are you? You were here. You were in here. I found you! Okay, I'm serious. This thing, he wasn't supposed to buy it. Like, after, I was just like, why'd you buy this? I didn't need it. And now I use it, like, all the time. But yeah, it explains what they are. So, like, wait, let me see if you can even see what I'm pointing at. Can you read that? I'm pretty sure it's hard to read. But it tells you the types of studies, and then psychology as a science, and like all this stuff. Okay. And it tells you the different types of studies. So there's descriptive studies, which include case histories, observations, surveys, tests, and then cross-sectional studies. And then you have correlational studies and longitudinal studies. Oh, I could have been reading this for the cognition stuff. Wow, I'm dumb. What's this song again? I don't like this song. It's not relaxing for me. Okay, development. Cognitive development. Piaget. We have assimilation, accommodation, sensory-motor, pre-operational. Oh, those. No, that's not. Okay, that's definitely development. Motivation and emotion, personality, abnormal, consciousness, applied. Learning. Memory. This doesn't talk about like cognitive psychology. Consciousness. Abnormal behavior. Oh, so like, you know how when you, okay, most people have like this assumption, and I only say this because I was most people, that psychology was only about abnormal disorders. And abnormal disorders are like all of the stuff that you hear about on like TV and stuff, which is like schizophrenia, narcissistic personality disorders, mood disorders, anxiety disorders, like OCD, PTSD, stuff like that. That's covered under abnormal behavior or abnormal psychology. But there's different types of psychology. So there's like personality psychology, social psychology, language, sensation and perception, stress and health, memory, development, gender and sexuality, learning is a different, and then applied psychology. I feel like also most people think of applied psychology when they think about psychology. But yeah. Or no, actually they don't really think of it. Okay. They don't tell me anything about cognitive. I'm literally just looking for the word cognitive. I have 15 minutes. I think it might be under social psychology. I think that what I'm researching is under social psychology. Social cognition, group behavior. Yeah, I guess so. It's social environment influences on thoughts, perceptions, and beliefs. That does have a lot to do with microaggressions. It's not really development. Cognitive development is on here, but that's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for cognitive functioning, but it's not on here. I mean, it doesn't have everything, but it usually gives some more. Social cognitive theory determines how and under what situations thoughts and behaviors are learned in social contexts. Claims that people often learn behaviors by observing and imitating the behavior of others in a social setting. Maybe. Okay, I can't find it. I don't think it's in here. Oh, treatment and therapy. So there's medical model and then medical treatments. And then you have psychotherapy. Evaluating therapy, criticisms. Criticisms, behaviorism, cognitive behaviorism, psychoanalysis. Yeah, so like the medical model is like the one where like you go to a psychiatrist and they prescribe you medications and medical treatments. You usually see like a psychiatrist or a clinical psychologist. And then psychotherapy has to do with like psychoanalysis, and that's when it's not always like behavioral therapies include systematic desensitization, aversive conditioning, flooding, or humanistic therapy, client-centered therapy, gestalt therapy. There's a lot of overlapping, so like it just depends on what the person needs. What's to tell me? What did I even look at this for? I already forgot. I think it was looking at types of studies. Okay. Maybe this is a cross-sectional study. Descriptive studies. Describe but do not explain behavior. Show the strength of relationship between variables but do not show causation. I've been talking a lot about correlation in my problem statement. So I think it might be a correlational study. I don't know. It feels like a correlational study. I don't know. This is why I need my mentor. But yeah, I love this thing. It like tells me so much. Because, okay, so he calls me a pseudo psychology major. Or not a real psychology major. Because I didn't know I was going to be a psychology major until like my last semester, my last 2 semesters at community college before I transferred. Yeah, sound like a fake psychology major, but I'm not, because I'm actually genuinely interested in everything, like especially neuroscience right now. It's like the most exciting thing that I'm taking, and I love it so much. It's just why like I really enjoy studying for it, because like I'm learning about all these things, amino acids, neuropeptides. Okay. Let me focus. Okay. Potential significance. What is that? What should I write? Okay, conclusions. What is the bottom line? Do your results have any direct implications? Are these significant or related to your results? Only apply to a specific case? Where did I get potential significance from? Oh, here we go. Oh, dang it. Potential significance, or just the conclusion. Bottom line is, I have no idea. Oh my god. Maybe like at 6. I'll let them decide. Am I supposed to take a break? Not yet. In 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, I'll take another break. So like 1 15-minute break per hour. Wait, no, then that's not an hour. No, I came back after 10 minutes. Okay, I'll take a break in 13 minutes. So 13 more minutes to study. Okay. Oh my god. Conclusion. What is the bottom line? Do your results have any direct implications? Or are they significant in any way? Well, like, the implication is that if there is a correlation between cognitive function increasing or decreasing because there's no causation. If there's a correlation between cognitive functioning and microaggressions showing an increase or a decrease in that function, what does that tell us? That tells us that microaggressions not only have a mental impact, but they have an impact on cognitive function. But what the fuck does that mean? I don't know what that means. Like, I know the categories of function. They have social, executive, memory, attention, psychomotor. So there's 5 of them. Social cognition being how you interact socially, how you interact with others. Executive function has to do with how well you are organized as a person, which includes mental flexibility, it includes planning, it includes your working memory, response inhibition, like how well you have control over your actions. Executive function, just how well you're able to make decisions for yourself. And then memory, which includes episodic memory, recognition memory, working memory. And like, I remember going over memory like for a little bit. Episodic memory I think is just memory of like short-term events. And then recognition memory is like, do things trigger memories because you recognize something? Like if you see someone's face again for the first time after a very long time, again, like that's recognition memory. Like it's long-term stored memory. And then working memory, that one is like the active recall questions. Like, can you bring information to the surface? I'm pretty sure. And then you have attention, whether you have a short attention span or not. I'm assuming that's what that is. And then psychomotor, choice, reaction time. This is all cognitive functioning. So what a correlation between microaggressions and cognitive function, like what implication does that have? Like why does that matter? So we're looking at it in terms of a Latinx population. My God. I don't know. What do I want to know? First of all, what do I want to know? This is what I want to know. Why do I want to know this? I want to know this. Like, how does this matter? I need to come up with a reason. I mean, the reason is there. I just haven't identified it. Oh my God. Okay. If we attach more importance into the understanding of how microaggressions impact people, then changes can be made. Changes can be made to address microaggressions. But it's hard to do that. Of course it's hard, Nancy. That's why something needs to be done about it. Okay, but why? Okay, I need to look at this article. Let me look at this article. Oh wow, it opens like a whole thing. Okay, no. That probably sent my computer spiraling. Yeah, basically. Okay. let me look at this one article. What they are and why they matter. Let me look at other people's reasoning. To provide me with some kind of inspiration. Okay, so I'm going to read this to y'all. This is an introduction, microaggressions, what they are and why they matter. And this is written by Dr. Chester Pierce, the first African-American psychiatrist to join the faculty of the Harvard Medical School. He invented the term microaggression during the 1960s. In trying to capture the distorted relationship between the races, he explained the concept of microaggression this way. Most offensive, trigger warning, I don't know. At the very end, okay. I'll say it again when it happens. Most offensive reactions are not gross and crippling. They are subtle and stunning. The enormity of the complications they cause can be appreciated only when one considers that the subtle blows are delivered incessantly, meaning repeating without stopping. Even though any single offense can be relatively innocuous, the cumulative effect to the victim and to the victimizer is of an unimaginable magnitude. Hence, the therapist is obliged to pose the idea that offensive mechanisms are usually a microaggression, as opposed to a gross or like large, dramatic, obvious macro aggression, such as lynching. So he's showing how microaggression is opposed to a macroaggression. So from a larger lens to a smaller lens, or a larger, grosser action to a smaller, innocuous action. Innocuous being something that seems like so uncritical, like it just seems so insignificant, but it actually has a significance. He then went on to underscore the importance of addressing this form of subtle offenses. The study of microaggression by whites and blacks is the essential ingredient to understanding of in what manner. is the essential ingredient to the understanding of in what manner in the process of interactions must be changed before any program of action can succeed. So basically, how do you eradicate racism? Well, you need to understand how it's happening before you can create any programs of change. Oh my god, so many. Okay, so potential significance. With the results, we're hoping to have a better understanding of microaggressions and how they impact population. Wow, it's just like flowing out. So this is what I came up with. With the results, we are hoping to have a better understanding of microaggressions and how they impact the Latinx population in the United States and perhaps other countries with increasing traffic of Latinx immigrants. How the impact of microaggressions affects other marginalized communities and ways in which future programs of civil change can incorporate this language to combat negative cognitive effects. Something like that. I think I have a good general idea of what I'm trying to say. I think if I give this to someone and they read it, they can give me some feedback. I feel good. Anticipated results. Our expected results will show if, I guess I didn't really write that much, if there is some correlation between cognitive functioning and microaggressions on the basis of gender and nationality. We'll have more to say. So I have about a minute left before I take another 10-minute break. So I shall be back in like another 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna try to, I think after that I've already written a draft for my abstract, so I'll be able to send, like, email that for feedback. And then I think when I come back, I'll probably work on the slides for brain and behavior for tomorrow. Yeah, it usually kind of takes me a bit, but it's worth it. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take a break. I didn't actually move. I kind of sat here. So yeah, I like started working and moved my abstract to a Word doc, and I'm at 309 words. It's perfect. Abstracts, I think I mentioned this before, are usually around 250 words to sometimes 500 words, depending on how large the study is or stuff like that. Usually if you have like results and stuff, it's gonna be longer, but I don't even have results yet. And for us, our max is 250, I believe. So I'm gonna yeah, 250 words, and then they want us to use a 10-point font, which does not make sense to me at all. That is tiny. Why do they want a 10-point font? I guess Arial is probably why. Oh. Okay. So I think what I'll do is I'll write it in paragraph form, and then I have it typed out by section, so I'll write that here. Okay, so I have saved that. I will email it later. And now I am going to switch over to brain and behavior and my notes. So I did something horrible and didn't attend lecture last week on Wednesday. The worst decision I ever made, but then I had an exam, so it's just like, let me sleep in for once. Okay, so we're gonna go over visual systems, cortex, and processing. Oh my god. I'm gonna learn about the eye. Okay, so I think they started going over that last time. There are 26 slides. I actually don't know where they left off. I'll have to look at the video later. Oh my god. Okay. I'm kind of feeling like lazy. I'm feeling lazy. I'm kind of like, I don't want to do this. Ugh. We learned about eyes in Intro to Psych. We learned about the cones, we learned about the retina, we learned about basically all of this, and that's all I remember. I'm gonna do better to remember this quarter. Because I think I mentioned this in a previous live stream, but like the reason why I'm working my butt off to actually study this material is because I actually want to be able to remember all of this information 3 or 5 years down the line, you know? I don't want the information that I'm learning right now to simply be information I'm learning to get a good grade on an exam. Like, I actually want to remember this stuff, you know? And it's actually really interesting. Like, when it comes to like school, I feel like all information is going to be boring because it's new. You have to make it interesting for yourself, because if you don't, then you're going to be bored while you're studying it. But if you trick yourself into being interested in it and then being like shocked and surprised every time something new comes up, and you're just like, wow, you know, about it. And yeah, so that's my approach to studying. And if like you really just can't get into it, then maybe you're studying the wrong thing, man. I mean, this isn't applicable to your general education, but it's definitely applicable to not necessarily upper division courses, because I mean, this is upper division for me, but yeah, upper division courses. Because general ed is applicable to any major. That's why it's called general ed. Because once you get to the upper division courses, if you don't find any of the classes that you're taking interesting, then maybe you're in the wrong major. Yeah. Wow, I just had that epiphany. Okay. I hope that's helpful. Okay. Yes. Okay. I usually don't talk a lot when I'm typing up my notes. Because like as I'm typing it, I'm like reading it to myself, and then that helps me. That's what a rod and a cone look like. That's interesting. And kind of creepy, but low-key kind of looks like a... I'm not gonna say it on camera. You'll know. No, I mean, you'll never see it, but yeah. I'm not gonna say that on camera. Oh, I didn't even put these. Ooh. I want to look at them. That's probably why I kept them, because I was just like, look at them. Yeah, so this is, oh wait, never mind. This is Montana. This is, what is this? Yellowstone. Did y'all know that Yellowstone is like in the middle of 3 states? It's crazy. Ghost tours. Damn, we should have done a ghost tour. You can go back. Sensory transduction. That is a tongue twister. Specialized sensory receptors. Oh, this is where label line coding comes in. Okay. So weird to me. Interesting. Well, I can't like see anything in these images. There's probably a better picture in the textbook, honestly. Okay, so this if we look at the image of the eyeball, is this cross section here at the end. So you have the blood vessels, you have a vein and a capillary. Veins are usually blue, capillaries are usually red. And then the optic nerve is wrapped around those two vessels. Axons of RGCs. What are RGCs? Retinal ganglion cells. Axons of the retinal. Damn, these axons are huge! What the? I wish I could show you. Okay, so that tiny little red ball, the retinal ganglion cells, that's the nucleus, and then that's the axonal body, which makes up the optic nerve. What the fuck? That's so cool. Receptors, rods and cones. Oh, interesting. So the rods and cones are the receptors, and they're like, you have the skin, the membrane of the eyeball, I'm assuming, or the structure. It's the rods and cones are touching like all around the eyeball. And then those are linked to bipolar cells. I wonder why they call them bipolar cells. BPCs. And then that speaks to the RGCs, the retinal ganglion cells. What the fuck? Oh my god, that's so cool. Receptors, let me summarize that for myself. And then the optic nerve is part of the central nervous system. Right? The retina's part of the CNS. Oh, okay, not the optic nerve, the retina. The retina being this area here, I'm assuming. Alright, let's keep going. They should really have like ABCs. Oh my god, it's like I'm learning about the glial cells again, but for the eye. Integrate info from photoreceptors. God, it's so annoying. parvocellular, commucellular. Fascinating. To the brain. Wow. So like I wrote this before it was even written for me. I'm smart. I'm just kidding. I'm just being a dumbass. La la la. Retina is basically a two-dimensional grid. 2 dimensions? 2? Yeah? I don't know. Okay. What does a 2-dimensional grid look like? Oh, 2D. Okay. When you say 2D, that makes sense to me because 2D is just this. Yeah, 2D is. I don't have an example for it, but yeah, it's not 3D. I am not 3D. I am 4D. Oh my god. I don't know. Ooh, there's lots of lagging on my stream. But it's not too bad. At least it keeps the messages. Like a digital camera, like a digital camera, the retina breaks up an image into discrete elements like pixels in order to assemble continuous visual perception. Yeah, like earlier today, for some reason, I kept seeing my blinds all over the room. I guess the bright light imprinted in my retina. I'm gonna start using fancy words to help me remember. First to be resolution. System. High acuity means you can solve a very small object or discriminate two closely spaced objects. I'm getting tired. Oh my god. Oh. Okay. Visual acuity and photoreceptor density. Like a digital camera, the retina breaks up an image into discrete elements like pixels, like on my screen, in order to assemble a continuous visual perception. So then my eye is like a screen, because the screen technically is 2D. Like all of this stuff is 2D. It's like, it's not coming out at me. It's like I'm the pixels on the screen. Okay, the retina. Visual acuity refers to the resolution of the system. This is 2440 by 18 something whatever resolution. So resolution of the system. High acuity means you can resolve a very small object or discriminate two closely spaced objects. So for me, in my eye, that's me seeing these little speckles on this thing and being able to see them, right? Or like even smaller, the text that is written on this chopstick. It's very tiny and I can still read it and it's fascinating. Okay, or discriminately two closely spaced objects. The packing density, number of receptors per millimeter squared of the photoreceptors has an effect on visual acuity. Packing density of the rods and cones. I was gonna say what's it called? Roads and cons. Instead of cons and roads. Wait. Rods and cones. Oh my god. I can't speak. The packing density of the rods and cones, photoreceptors, has an effect on visual acuity. High receptors densities, so the more rods and cones densely packed allows high acuity. So that's kind of interesting because not a lot of people know. Well, no one ever guesses, no one ever asks, no one ever needs to know. But like I had laser eye surgery to fix my vision, and let me tell you, it's the best decision I ever made. If you want, like, if you have any questions on that, I mean, I'll try my best to answer. But yeah, I'm wondering how this is related to the corrective surgery that I had. You know, because it's talking about, it's like I wonder if there's a difference between, or if the density of the rods and cones affects short distance. What is it called? Nearsightedness or farsightedness? I wonder how that's related. That's a question I will find out later. Or I can write it here. The only thing I do remember, like the eye people telling me, was that in the future, you may experience farsightedness. Nearsightedness. I don't know what the proper term is, but like in the future, I might not be able to read stuff up close. Okay. Which is kind of interesting, because before all I could see was stuff that was up close. Yeah, I was pretty blind. Like from here to the screen, I wouldn't be able to see the screen. That's how blind I was. Okay. I normally don't type everything out, but because I didn't attend the lecture and they've already covered some of this material, I want to make sure that I'm like reading it in case they reference it tomorrow. Oh my god. It's doing so well. Ooh, how is everyone doing? Still dropping frames like a G. Wait, the last one was 30 minutes ago? Good. Stop dropping frames. No way. Okay, so this is interesting. So characteristics of the retina. Oh my god. There's non-uniform receptor density. Highest at the fovea, lower in the peripheral retina. Correlates with visual acuity. So the non-uniform photoreceptor density correlates with visual acuity as well. Okay, so the fovea, can't tell the word. Fovea. Point of central focus. Oh, okay. Got it. Blind spot here. I should probably memorize these areas. Okay, so you have the eyeball. Perfect, it's an eyeball. Okay, so there is the... Oh. So there's this top layer of the eye, and underneath that top layer is the cornea. So the cornea is like that first layer of your eyeball, and this is not like the white part. This is like the eye, like the dark part of your eye or the light part of your eye, and not the white part. So then you have the cornea, and then right underneath that, or like right in the center. So the center of the eye is the pupil. So that's like the really dark center of the eye. Okay. So cornea, pupil. All right. On the sides, you have the irises. So like I guess like the round circles. Like imagine the eye of an anime character. All those like rounded stuff on the sides of the eye around the pupil, that is the iris. Okay. And then right behind the pupil is the lens. Interesting. So in that lens is where light refracts, and then it refracts to the back of the eye. So like at the back of the eye. So this is the eyeball, back of the eyeball. And at the back of the eye, you have the central point of focus, which they call the fovea. Okay, that makes sense. And then all around the internal, like a rim at the back of the eye, all around the eye actually, if that's correct, is the retina, which is made up of rods and cones. Fascinating. Oh, I was trying to figure out what the hell that was, and it's the pen. Okay, so that's an interesting theory, and I wonder if anyone has thought about it. But is our world upside down? Because, okay, say you're looking at this, right? It's, I don't know. Okay, we're looking at my Sour Patch Kids. Okay, so your eye sees this, and then it's the right side up, but then inside the brain, it flips around. So in the back of the eyeball, it's refracted to be upside down. Wait, where is my theory going? Wait, I'm lost. God doesn't want me to know what I'm thinking. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. Okay. So now that I understand like what is the structure of the eye, let me read this again. Okay. Non-uniform receptor density. Oh, so at the center of the eye, at the fovea, you have the highest density of the rods and cones. And in the peripheral retina, so that's the retina alongside the fovea, there's a lower density of rods and cones. So if I'm looking at this image correctly, the retina is all around the eye on the inside, and then there's like empty space inside. What's it called? There's one area which they call the blind spot, which is a little bit below the fovea, where the optic nerve enters. So like You know, in the scary movies when they like pull out the eye and then there's like this dangling portion of the eye? That's the optic nerve, and like at the entrance of that to the eye is the blind spot. This is how I memorize stuff, okay? I just think of it in that sense, and I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, so that's why here it was like the central retina, the fovea or the macula, is a high receptor density. So that's why this square is smaller. And then the peripheral retina, lower receptor density, lower acuity. Interesting. So the central retina is most, or the macula, is most used for object perception, high detail. Oh, okay, so that's basically like, how would I describe that? So if you know what an eye out of focus looks like, and you know what an eye in focus looks like, or your view, sorry, you know what it looks like when something's out of focus versus when something's in focus. So like just imagine a camera going out of focus. So when we're looking at one thing, say I'm looking at the top of this chapstick, like that area and the area around it is the most clear, right? But then everything around it is kind of hazy. Like you can see it, but if you stay focused on that, it's all hazy. So that's what it's talking about when the central retina is used for object perception, where there's a lot of high detail that I can see here, versus our peripheral retina, which is more for motion or location perception, having to do with like your peripheral vision, like being able to see to your sides of your eye, and eventually you can't see the sides anymore. Okay. And then, so in the brain, labeled line coding have to do with the intensity of action potentials. So the action potentials in your brain, there are specific action potentials in the retina that trigger and tell information to the brain of what is in front of us and where it is. Fascinating. So location. So that had to do with the size, color, and shape. For the eye, you also include what and where. Labeled lines. Got it. Okay. The blind spot and perceptual filling in, where the axons of the retinal ganglia cells, was that RGCs? Retinal ganglion cells, yay! And associated blood vessels penetrate the retina. So that's that empty spot in the eye. There are no receptors, therefore there is a blind spot. We don't notice the blind spot because the eyes are always moving, whatever saccades means, and the system is good at perceptual filling in. Okay, color vision. Ooh. To pink color vision. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I learned something new. Alright. Color vision. The visual spectrum is approximately 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers wavelength of the electromagnetic spectrum. The fuck is that? I mean, electromagnetic spectrum. Sounds familiar. Yeah, the color spectrum. I don't know. It's like all the spectrums. So it's this one. Nikola Tesla, thank you. So this is the electromagnetic spectrum for those of y'all that don't know what it is, like me, like I kind of had to remember. Wait, how do I? There we go. So I hope you're seeing it. Wow. So like this little colorful rainbow area in the middle is what we can see visually. And so that's why they say that basically every color has a specific wavelength. So like for the purple, which is like on that side, it's 400 nanometers. And then like the blues and the cyans is like 500. And then you get between that and then like yellow, it's 500 to 600 nanometers. And at the very end, you have red at 700 nanometers. And like the way that we are able to perceive other wavelengths, such as like our radio, microwaves, X-rays, is because they're all on that scale of the electromagnetic spectrum. The more you learn. I actually want to include that picture in here. Let's see. Image. I wonder if I can search for an image. No. I think these are like aesthetic images only. Not really like okay, well, I'm gonna leave that there so I can add a photo later. I can't really do it with my Wi-Fi right now. Oh my god, why are you? Stop. Okay, so how does the retina code this, or how does it code? How does this translate into action potentials, I guess? Let's see, we have the trichromatic theory. Use 3 independent channels to mix all color, red, green, blue. I know that there's a specific name to that color theory. Those are the primary colors, red, green, blue, right? And then you have the opponent process theory. So there's 2 of them. Also 3 channels. You have the red-green channel, blue-yellow channel, and then black-white channel. Hey, in opposing pairs. Okay, so like the opposite of red is green, the opposite of blue is yellow, and the opposite of black is white. That's interesting. I don't hear too much about the opponent process theory. I think I hear more about the trichromatic theory than anything else, which has to do with color mixing, especially when you get into like painting and like getting the right colors and why your colors look ugly versus pretty because you're using the wrong colors, why some colors clash, why some colors just look like they just bond really well. That's all of that. Okay, I learned about color vision. Pink. I kind of really wish I had listened more in Intro to Psych, because you go over basically every topic in psychology, like very generally, like not super into detail. And I wish I had studied for that class as much as I'm studying for this class. Because, yeah. I mean, like, I tried. I genuinely tried. But last quarter was... freaking COVID, I swear. Yeah, COVID is the card. It's what you bring up every single time. Just blame it on COVID. And, like, that's super valid. Everything, just COVID, you know. But also, it was my first quarter. It was my first time experiencing 10 weeks of content and all of that jazz. And yeah, it was just, I did not do as well as I had hoped. So I'm making up for it this quarter. Ooh, this is interesting. What? That's so cool. It's just so interesting learning the reason why you're able to see the things that you see. Oh my god. Huh? Oh, I wrote photons. Absorption. Oh my god, we're finally talking about membrane potential again. Transduction. Which they call transduction in the eyes. Interesting. Oh my god. It just came to me. I'm like so anxious to know what I got for my stats class. For the exam that we had last week. Oh my god. I hope she grades them soon. I want to know how well or bad I did. I don't think I did bad. I think I did pretty good. But that's not up to me. I just want to know like what I got wrong or why I got something wrong. Because I actually also really enjoy that class. Because we do just a small bit of programming with Art Studio, and like I find programming to be like absolutely cool and friggin' exciting. Like if I had been born in the 1970s, 1960s, I would totally be a pariah of society. I even feel that now sometimes. I feel like a pariah sometimes because my interests are not inherently feminine as they're supposed to be. But you know, that's a conversation for another day. Right now we're learning about our eyeballs. Okay, what do you say? What are you telling me? In order to transduce light, cones have visual pigments that absorb photons and convert that absorption into changes in the membrane potential. Okay, in order for membrane potential to happen, cones. So rods and cones for retina. The cones specifically have visual pigments that absorb photons. Pigments. I need a definition for pigments. That absorb photons. Absorb photons. Photons. What are photons? And convert that absorption into changes in membrane potential. Okay, so I understand that in order for the potential of the membrane to change, for transduction of the light to occur, for the message of that light being a light with a color to occur, Pigments in the cones need to absorb photons. Pigments in the cones have to absorb photons, and then they convert that absorption into changes. Okay. A given cone expresses one type of pigment. There are 3 groups of cones that are differentiated by their expressed pigment. So there's 3 types of pigment, is what I'm getting from that. Each pigment type absorbs a slightly different part of the visual spectrum, with peaks as shown below. Okay. Each of these cone populations corresponds to one color channel of the trichromatic theory. So it looks like in this class, we're going to stick to the trichromatic theory. You know, sometimes, you know, classes are different. They're like, no, we're gonna work primarily with this theory. This one honestly makes the most sense to me. It's the 3 primary color theory, which is the red, green, blue. Although I don't think those are the primary colors. Red, blue, green. Oh, it is. It's the primary colors. Okay, so cones have pigments that correspond to them, and those pigments absorb photons. I don't know what photons are yet. I need to look that up because I don't think it explains it to me later on. Okay, so each cone has a specific pigment that they pick up. And that pigment absorbs, it's not just like that just that one, but it's a spectrum, a small spectrum of that pigment, of that color. So wavelengths we mentioned from 400 to 600 is the, or no, was it 700? 400 to 700 nanometers on the electromagnetic spectrum is our color range. And so from 400 to 500, you have like the violets that go into the blues. Wow, I'm gonna remember it's not art, it's not, what's the, there's a color mnemonic. Roy G. Biv. Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. All right, so I have an argument to make. The electromagnetic spectrum, the color vision spectrum, it's backwards. So this is going from 700. Oh my god. You're like, I'll explain in a second. Do I have all the colors? Okay. I think I have all the colors. I'm totally getting sidetracked right now. It's okay. Do I have purple? Where's my purple? Oh, you're over here. Yes! Violet, blue, cyan. Then we have green. I think it goes like this. Wait. Red. Ta-da! I think there's like, no, I don't think there's pink in there. I don't know where the pink is. Okay, wait. Okay. Violet, blue, cyan. The lime green to green, to the yellow to orange to red. Exactly. Okay. I'm totally gonna do this. Ooh, maybe I'll put it up here. If it comes out nice. This is I already messed up. No. Two. All right, fixed it. Okay, this is Roy G. Biv. Keep messing up. Red, orange, yellow, G, B, B. Ignore my horrible. Okay, but then. Oh my god. What? Oh. I'm still. Wait. La 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 la. So 500. It's about like right here. 600 is like right here. 700. 5, 6. All right. So, an even better one. So we all know the mnemonic Roy G. Biv, but it's actually backwards. It goes from 400 to 700. That's the, yeah, it's backwards. I learned something new today. Ooh, what time is it? I've been live for half an hour. Wait, I was only supposed to be live for 3 hours. How did it turn into an hour to 3 hours and a half? Oh my god. Wait, no. 10. Okay, so I am about 10 minutes overtime for my stream. What's it called? I learned so many new things today, and I'm definitely not done inputting my notes for visual systems for my brain and behavior class, but I will be finishing those off stream. I hope you enjoyed the stream for today and the content, and believe me, I am like super happy that this stream actually lived, because I tried streaming twice before this one, and they were all dying, and I was just freaking out and panicking. But yeah, so I should be back to streaming again tomorrow, and probably in the evening, and we'll see where I end up. But yeah, I hope that your studies are going well, and that you don't have any exams coming up soon, but if you do, I hope that you do well, and just good luck. All right, bye. Happy studying.